Hey, what's going on, Archons? Welcome to another episode of KeyThoughts. My musings on this great game of KeyForge. Believe it or not, this is take two of this. I managed to do this one time without having my mic on. So there was a few expletives that were shared vocally within my apartment that my neighbors may or may not have heard. I did not keep my voice down when I shared my frustrations at myself. So here we are. Take two. So this week I wanted to actually talk about just a concept that I've thought about. I haven't been playing a ton of KeyForge. The reason why I also haven't been putting out these key thoughts as regularly as I have done in the past is just I don't have experience to pull off of. I mean, I've been playing with my friend weekly, but nothing too crazy has been happening there. So before I get into what I want to talk about this episode, let's get into the card of the week, which is Grim Reminder. That's right. The action card from Dis in Mass Mutations, which focuses on the new version of Arise, basically. It's an action card that says, choose a house, archive each creature of that house from your discard pile, gain 1 chain. So I actually like this card more so than Arise. Here's why. When you have Arise, you're calling a house, you're taking all the creatures, putting them back into your hand, and if you had Dis that was amazing, you could really abuse that. Like you could board wipe, pull your creatures back, set up another great board state. This is true. But if you wanted to do anything else, like do an Untamed Burst, call maybe Sanctum, Craziness, Mars, whatever it may be, you would have a grip full of cards in your hand and you would not be drawing up at the end of your turn. And if something happened on your opponent's next turn that caused you to need to go into the house that you did not just put into your hand, you would further not be cycling and drawing cards. Problematic situations. But with Grim Reminder, guess what? That no more. Folks, no more. Now with Grim Reminder, the improved version of Arise, we have solved that issue with the hand and lack of cycling. So what that means is you can basically craft future turns by just throwing them all in your archives, having them ready for later, getting to draw more cards, maybe even getting more of that house that you just put in there. And it's just a fantastic way to have a really big turn in the future. You can even choose something that maybe provides disruption, ember control, board control, things like that in a creature form that you can throw in there for when your opponent happens to come at you in a way that is, you need to respond. It gives you a contingency plan for the future, whereas Arise made you have an imminent need to use it. And a lot of the times, that was fine, but it just gives you more opportunities and decisions. So I absolutely love Grim Reminder. I will say, hot take, I think it's better than Arise. Moving on to this week's topic, which is talking about playing KeyForge. And why not? Who doesn't like playing KeyForge, right? But I want to talk about playing KeyForge in a kind of a unique way. So, like I said, my friend and I, we play weekly, basically, and this past couple of weeks, we've been playing in a way that's been really fun. So I've been taking a dice, rolling the dice, and having the numerical values represent a different set. So 1 is Coda, 5 is Dark Tidings, 6 is a wild card. You can choose which set you want to play. Only caveat is you cannot have 2 of the same sets play against each other. So it's a nice way of seeing how some top tier decks fared against each other when they were not going within the same set. It was a really fun exercise, and it was a great way to discover some incredible matchups. And that's what this week I want to talk about, is finding those perfect pairings. And that is 2 decks that when they go against each other have a good battle to the end. There are no blowouts. You need a best of 3, and when I say best of 3, you go to 3 games to determine which one is truly the winner. And you have that emotional investment in the outcome, and you are pissed when you lose, and you are elated when you win. That is what I'm talking about. That is what you need to find. And it is such a fun way to play KeyForge. And when you find those pairings, remember them, note them down. I've said this before, I will say it again. It is just like food and wine. When you have a delicious wine and then you have another delicious meal, and when you bring them together, you have a delicious combination that is unique to their solo parts, but when brought together, it creates something completely new and different and a greater experience. You can't beat it. Something good here, something good here, bring them together, something even better. That's what we're all about here on the Boulevard Blake YouTube channel, is finding two great things and bringing them together and making them better. That's what life's all about, right? Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to put that out there and for people to explore that. It's especially fantastic when you're doing some kitchen table KeyForge. It's no better way to play. And basically we did it is where one person who rolled first would choose the deck from the set they rolled. And then based on kind of like the stats of that deck, choose something that is an equal counterpart or you think would match well to have a good, you know, a good showing. You don't want to have a bloat. The bloats are no fun. I mean, there is a time and place for those, but when you're playing with friends, try and have that. It's way more enjoyable, way more satisfying KeyForge to be played. That being said, I'm also really enjoying the BDQ stuff we're doing over on Help from Future Self, revisiting those episodes, taking a look how those initial sort of guidelines and rules and sage wisdom that Kodamarin and Kira Mode gave us hold up in today's game. It's just fantastic. So I really have been enjoying revisiting it, and I hope you are listening to those. If not, please go over there. Those was originally going to be a YouTube series here, but due to just time constraints, now it's become a podcast topic, which is almost more appropriate. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Also, if you are a Patreon supporter of mine, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to be moving away from deck giveaways, and as a result, April will be the last month of deck giveaways in terms of a monthly basis. I may do it on a more less frequent basis, but still a little reward for my supporters. So if you do not wish to still be a Patreon supporter after this decision is made, I totally understand. No hard feelings. If you wish to support me in a monetary fashion, I do have my Patreon, and I do appreciate it a lot. It's a little extra motivation. Anything helps, and if you do not wish to monetarily contribute to my exploits, just liking, subscribing, and sharing and commenting is greatly appreciated. It keeps everything going. And if you know some people who like KeyForge, tell them about my YouTube. Please bring them into the fold. I would love to make some new friends and connect with people. So, with that being said, may your ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.